One of the things that was challenging about the design of the APH-12 phaser is we had to design exactly what it was going to be. And if you're not familiar with phasers, what they are is a certain number of stages, in this case up to 12 stages. And each stage produces a phase shift, which phase shifts will produce cancellations in the wave. If you ever heard of a comb filter, and it can make different sounds by canceling the wave. And the more stages we have, the closer in the frequency band each of those cancellations are, and the more complex the signal is. And what we really wanted to do is explore with this pedal all the different places that could be, because there are many classic phasers out there. Some of the early ones are 4 stages. Some of the ones like the Script 90 or the Phase 90 is a 4-stage phaser, or the infamous PS-1A from Oberheim was a 6-stage phaser. That big wood-sided one that is quite famous, that was a 12-stage phaser. But we didn't know any phasers that could do that or explore everything in between. And so that's one of the first things. What's very unique about this phaser is not only did we hit the basics, we hit the 12, we hit a 6, we hit a 4, but we also did a 1, we did a 2, a 3, and of course, in tribute to Jimi Hendrix, if 6 went to 9, we have a 9-stage phaser as well. And we're really surprised at all the incredible sounds we got out of this. We really did explore all the other things in between. And one of the questions that we are asked is, how come we hit all the early stages, but we didn't hit many of the later stages? And that's one of the things that we discovered when we did the development board. We found out that there was really a lot of difference between a 5-stage and a 4-stage and a 3-stage. But there wasn't a lot of difference between a 6-stage and an 8-stage and a 10-stage. And so we really focused on those early, lower stages. So let's explore what else we have on board on the APH-12 phaser. It's laid out in the classic Asheville Music Tools format with 5 knobs and 2 switches. Typical layout in the front. We have a phase section, an LFO section, and that doesn't fit in a phaser LFO section. So we have a sweep knob, which gives incredible control and tonality in focusing the range of the filters and the position of the filters, so we can get deep, rich sounds or more high, airy sounds. We have a resonance control, and one of the things that's very different about the APH-12 is the way we implemented the resonance control. We implemented it in a little bit different summing. It makes a little bit different sound. It accentuates the highs and lows and makes a lot more presence in the resonance sound. We also sculpted it frequency-wise, and there's a little bit different topology in the way we routed that and summed it. It's hard to explain. If you looked at a frequency response, you would see it looks very different than most phasers. We did capture something similar to the big 12 stage, though, in how we implemented that. We have an LFO, which is the amount of modulation, and we have a rate knob and the amount of modulation, and we have a control that gives two rates. We knew that people wanted super slow rates, but we also knew that people wanted to get up into fast Leslie and ring mod rates. And so to make it much more controllable, we have a 2-position switch that puts our LFO, our modulation, in those 2 modes so we can hit them all. And then we have a 3rd setting, and that's the envelope follower setting. And that was taken from the success of the envelope follower in our AFG-1, but it was completely redesigned for more responsive sound and a little bit more of a funk tone. And so when we're in the envelope mode, our amount now follows the dynamics of our playing, and that's a new addition. I'm not aware of very many other phasers that have implemented that, and we really have found that is an incredible new place for people to explore, very inspirational, and we found a lot of our testers who don't play that kind of music, we're really enjoying it. So that's what we have here. The big differences are that we've given a lot of control in the LFO, in the speed, and that we've added the envelope control. We've also added not a mixed knob, but a mixed switch. And in the mixed switch, we have 3 positions. One puts the phasing in the background, so it's not overtaking your playing. We have a classic phaser sound, and then we have a vibrato sound, which can give really convincing Leslie tones. And that's also what we brought to the table. And finally, of course, it wouldn't be an Asheville Music Tools product without the drive. But we have completely redesigned our drive control. It's the same topology, JFET front end, our special secret sauce drive with a little bit of light clipping, but we've added a new 2nd JFET saturation circuit to really add some harmonics and really lean into it. And that gives a lot for the comb filters and the phaser to work with. So in developing the APH-12, we really had to decide how we were not going to have another Me Too product or another just expanding on what had already been done. And so we really came up with a lot of things that make this different and special. A lot of that was discovered when we did the development board and we learned what sounds we liked. So one of the things that's really unique is we explored not just the classic, not just a 12-stage phaser, not just a 6-stage phaser, not just a 4-stage phaser, but we have 8 phase selections. And so we also explored all the odd stages that you may not be familiar with. A 1-stage makes an incredible vibrato sound. A 3-stage is incredible lead licks with a really nice hollow tone. 5-stage that brings on the funk like you've never seen. And of course, being the purple phase, we had to have if 6 comes into 9, and we have a 9-stage phaser. So all those odd steps and also all the other things in between, 2 and all the other stages. We also really laid into our drive circuit, which is a continuation of our previous products, but we added a new saturation stage to really lean into the harmonic tone. We added a mix stage with a vibrato and a couple of different types of pre-programmed preset mixes for different tones. We made sure we had a high and a low speed for the LFO. We also added in and expanded upon our envelope follower from our AFG flanger line. And all these things wrapped into a tight package, a small package, is really some of the things that we add in here that makes the APH-12 something special and something different. And so we hope you'll really enjoy the purple phase.